Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will do the experiment اللي هي IP telephony basic configuration. We will do the basic configuration for the IP phones. IP phones they use the IP protocols to transfer the voice. So we will use one router. The Usually you cannot use any specific routers. Okay, you should use any routers. You should use a specific router, which number it is 2811. You cannot use any other router because it is the only router that support the voice services. If you want to use the other routers, usually you should include the voice services to that router or the telephony services to that router, but unfortunately you cannot do so. You are enforced to use the router 2811. The switch usually we use 2960. So we will connect these routers and we will connect two phones or three phones, whatever we like. Okay, we will configure the services and we will assign. We will do all these IP addresses. Okay, we will know how to do it, and we will know exactly what each command work, and we will assign a numbers 1001 or whatever number we like to the first number or the second one. Let's do the configuration and do the experiment. So first of all we need routers, and we said we cannot use any router. We must use 2811. This router, it is a must. 2811. Other routers will not support voice. Other routers will not support voice. I will repeat it again. You cannot use any other router than 2811. You must use this router. And switch, you can use any switch. I will use 2960. So I have now one router and two switch, and I need now to include at least two IP phones. I will include three IP phones, not two. Okay, so I will go to in devices, go to IP phones 7960, one phone, another phone, and I will add a new one also. So we have now three IP phones. Okay, so let's connect the devices together. So I will go to connection and use the straight connect. I will connect from port 00 to the switch. I will use any port. I will use, in this experiment it's 01. You can use any port to connect to any port, but be careful if you have VLAN. Now let's connect the telephony to the switch. You can use the first one, it is connected at port 2, or you can use any port if there is no VLANs. Okay, so I will go to 2. I think we have VLANs, so I will use the same port number. So 2, I will use the straight cable. I'll choose the port 2 and connect it to phones. We have two ports. The first one, it is a switch. This means this connect it is from the phone to the switch. So I will use this one. Okay, the other one, it is BC. Okay, the other one, it is BC. Again, this one he will use the port 3 again. Okay, so the BC means this connection, it is from phone to BC. Why we have it? Because usually in the office we usually have one connection. So usually we take from the wall, in the wall, the connection, and connect it to the phone, and from phone we connect the PC. So because of that we have two connections to the wall. So but in this time we need just to connect from switch to the switch port in the phone. Okay, again I will take another one, okay, to switch. So I connected all phones. You can see that all phones are off. The connection is off because usually the phones we need to power it on, but I will keep it to the last, okay, last minutes, the last thing in the experiment. So now let's configure the routers. Okay, the routers, okay, in the experiment we did, okay, this port, it is 192.168.10.1. This is the port, and with the default mask which is 24. Okay, so we need to configure the router port fast Ethernet 00. Okay, I'll go to the routers, CLI, no, and enable. So config T, configure terminal, and in the router I configure interface fast Ethernet 0/0. The fast Ethernet that we connect the router to it is fast 0/0. Okay, the IP addresses, it is 192.168.10.1 with the mask. So okay, no shutdown and exit. No need to configure the rebel protocol because we have one network only. If you have two network or two routers connected to each other, and more than two networks connected through the routers, you need to enable the rebel protocol. But for us, there is no need for defining the rebel protocol. So we configure now the IP addresses for the router. Next issues to create a DHCP pool. It's because okay, all these phones, okay, usually you cannot assign an IP address for it, so it will take it through the DNS. So we need to create a DNS pool to give them the IP addresses, and the IP addresses it should belong to the IP address for the router. So let's create a pool, IP from global configuration, IP, okay, DHCP pool, and you can give it any name. Okay, so I will write voice 1, and for sure if you don't like to write voice 1, you can write any name for this pool. It is just an internal name. Okay, so it is not a given name, it is just the pool name. It is the pool name. You can give any name. Okay, so what we need to define the default gateway for these phones. Okay, so the default, first of all, we need to configure the network numbers. Okay, so network, and this network, you can see that the router it is 192.168.10.1/24. So the network number it is 192.168.10.0. So this is the network with the subnet mask. Okay, so we define the network. Okay, so we assign that each phone will get number from 192.168.10.1.2.3.4. The one we reserve it for the server, so the phones they can start from the port number 2. Okay, so we need now to define the default router. Default router, it is the same router we have. Usually this router, okay, it is the one that you can connect it to the net or the outside. Okay, so default router, it is the same router for us. .10.1. Okay, we define the default port. Now we must define the voice option. Okay, to tell that okay, this is okay the router that used to configure the IP addresses for the routers. So we have the command option. Okay, option, and we should write the 150. It is for the voice. It is a received number, so you should write option 150. It is a received number, and then the IP. Then after the IP, you should write the IP address of the router that gives the voice services. Which one? It is the same router. So option 150 enable the voice at IP addresses 192.168.10.1. So all configuration now it is exists in this routers. This is the command. What this command tell us. Okay, so now we configure the all configuration for the router for the DHCP pool. So exit. So we finish configuring the DHCP pool, the pool for IP addresses. Okay, now we need to define the telephony services. So you can write telephony, tab. So tel and press tab, it will continue. So telephony services, press enter. In telephony services, we should define okay the numbers and other issues. So what we should do, okay, is I will write okay telephony look max dash dn max directory services. Let's assume I inside this router I will have just 5 numbers at max. At max I will have 5 numbers. Okay, max dash ephones, max ephones. We will define maximum number of IP phones that connect directly. I will assign the same number 5, so I can have 5 contacts with 5 phones. Maybe I can have five contacts and 3 phones, because in future I will add 2 phones. Okay, but I need to store all these IP addresses for them. So I define the maximum directory or maximum contacts, it's 5, and maximum physical phones, it will be 5. Okay, I can change it to any number based on the in the services, in the number of iPhones or number of contacts I have. And then I must specify the source. Where is the source IP addresses? Where is the services exist and the packets will go? So I will sort I will in the Telephony IP source, I write IP sources addresses. I will tell him that IP source addresses, the IP addresses sources, it will be go from 192.168.10.1, which means the router. So the telephony services will come from this router, or we define it this router at port. And you must define the port number. In the example we have the port number 2000, and be sure that this number, it should be 2000 and above. You cannot write port number less than 2000. Okay, so this number. Okay, so I will assign a source addresses for the telephony number, where we can find the DNS, where we can find the ePhones, where we assign, and from which port it's used. So we define it. Okay, then we can assign auto assign. This auto assign number from 1 to 5, okay, to the phones that try to connect. So the first phone will get the first number, the second phone will get the second number, the third phone will get the third number. You know that the first connection, he will get the first number. So we must assign numbers now. Yes, okay, so it is finished for the telephony services. So exit. Now let's define the phone's number. How? In the global configuration we can write ephone. You should complete it. Dash dn, ephone dash dn, the connection, the first connection. ephone dash 1, the first connection. It will show okay, we will give him the number, and we can give him any number. Let's see, 10,001. Okay, this is the first iPhone. The first iPhone try to connect, he will get the number 1001. It is like your phone. It is the phone number 056. Okay, so we assign the first number. Okay, exit. Again, iPhone number 2. The second one he tried to connect, let's assume we'll give him 10,002 number. You can write num, and let's assume 10,002. Okay, exit, and ephone again. The third one he tried to connect, let's give him number. Okay, number, let's give him number 7,000. We'll not give him because you can give him any number. Okay, so we will give him 7,000. Okay, so we finish configuration the routers. Exit, Control Z to return, and W to store the whole configuration. So everything now is stored, and the router here is ready to give the voice services. So we will close that server. Okay, and we will go to the switch to enable the telephony through the switch. Okay, so we'll go to the switch. Okay, click on the switch, CLI commands. Okay, we are in switch, enable to log to the privilege mode, config T to go to, or to log to the privilege global configuration mode, and then we need to enable the port from let's assume that we have a port. In the example, we have port from 1 to 5 that will connect to. I will choose the same ports. Okay, so I will configure interface range from fast Ethernet from 0/1 till 5. I will configure port 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 till 5. Okay, I'll make it switch port mode access. I will okay, I'll make it access, not a trunk. It will we will connect devices to it. Okay, then I must enable, okay, I must enable the voice. I must tell them that this port from 1 to 5, I still in 1 to 5. I will tell the switch that port from 1 to 5, 1, 2, and 3, and 5, they can use the voice services. How? Switch port, voice. It is not voice 1, it is voice. Okay? Then VLAN. Then usually we put the native one. The native one, it is network 1. Usually you put the native network, and the native network 1. Even if your switch, if they are port from 1 to 5, they are belong to network 10 or port 20. In this usually in the phones you must use the native one. So usually you must write switch port voice VLAN 1, whatever your VLAN number. Okay, so even if the interfaces 1 to 5 they are belong to other VLAN, you should switch port voice to VLAN 1. VLAN 1, don't change it, even if you have different VLANs, because it's a native, and every packet it will go, whatever the LAN number, it will go to that number. So just use the native one. Usually it is VLAN 1, and we didn't change it, and we didn't take any command to change the native network. So now everything is correctly, everything is done. Now we need to just be sure that the experiment is worked correctly and everything is done correctly. So Control Z, we do all configuration and write, then close it. Okay, so we do all configuration. Let's check. I will just hide this info. Okay, keep it. Okay, I will go to iPhone 1. Let's see that iPhone 1, he will get the first number. I will go to iPhone 1. From the iPhone 1, I'll go. You can see the power supply. You can the charger. You can press in the charger. You can move it now and press in the whole. And it's the power. Okay, to turn it on. So just press. Okay, now it's connect. Now it's turned on. Go to GUI. You can see that the phone. You try configuration. Leave it. Okay, it will sometimes take 1 minute or 2 minutes. Okay, to log in. I'll keep it. I'll go to the second iPhone. I'll go to iPhone 2. Click on it, and I go to the power again. I'll take it, put the power in the plug. Okay, then I go to the configuration. Okay, again keep it. You can see that iPhones start. They are start now configuration. Again, the third one, I go and plug the power, hold it, plug it, and then go to the GUI. Okay, so and wait until they are get number. I will press on it. You can see this iPhone, he get 1001. Again, I will go to, I will wait till the second one. See, still configuration. Wait. Okay. Now you can see that still you can go. This is still not configured. The second one, we must wait. Okay. But sometimes if you need to enable you to hear the voice and to see the lights, you can go to options, preference. In the interface, there are something called play telephony sound. Press on it, make it enable. So if you ring a phone, you will hear that the ringing of the telephony. So make sure that it is on, it is selected. So I click on this iPhone, still not taking any number. Wait, this iPhone, still waiting. Okay, now he take the number 2. You can see, and this one, he take the 7,000. So now you can see that we have 1, okay, and 2. We have 7,000, and this one it is 10,001. Okay, let's ring any phone. Let's ring 10,001. So I write 10001, the phone number. Press on the headset. You can see the phone is ringing. okay, ring out. So it is ringing. Just press on the headset of the second phone. You can see connected. So you can see that this phone connected. Just plug it. We close the line. We close the line. Okay, let's try to call the second one. Let's try to take this phone 1010. Okay, again. Okay, we have the two phones. Let's ring this from 1000 to 10,001. Let's ring the 10,002. Okay, press on the number. After that, okay, just you can see it is ringing. Just keep it. It is connected. So I think the experiment is very nice and you can do it very easy. Okay, so everything is okay, and okay, inshallah you understand the experiment. Just okay, one thing okay to notice, okay, because most of students they are usually they make a problem on it or they didn't do it well. Usually switch port, okay, when you do the configuration for switch, make sure that the switch port voice it should be for VLAN 1 for the native network. If you have even 10,000 or if you have here several number of VLANs, assume that this port from 1 to 5 is belong to VLAN 20. Even that you must put switch port voice VLAN 1, whatever it is. Okay, inshallah I hope you understand everything in this experiment, and I think this is the last experiment. Inshallah, maybe I create an experiment that that have the all experiment from lab 1 to lab 14. Inshallah, if I have time, I will do it and forward to all. Okay, thank you all.